startup ecosystem, what the idea is that you have to learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely. And once you learn how to do that, then you can bring in all the stakeholders and you can get into programs that'll help you and train you on how to build it. But that first step is you have to design a business model that is desirable.
When I initially moved back to Pensacola, I had a meeting with Lloyd. Lloyd invited me for breakfast, and I was telling him, man, I still have an idea for the entertainment industry. This is what I wanted to do. He was like, all right, I got Startup on the Blocks. So I need you to start coming to Startup on the Blocks and get a little more information on how to work through the tech ecosystem and take your idea and we'll get you where you need to go. My company is called The Know, is an app that is streamlining business for the entertainment industry. Yeah, so if you're a musician, what you would do is pretty much jump on the platform, you'll create a profile, but the way we created the profile is pretty much a cleaner way. So now if they want more information about you, you'll connect your social media platforms, your streaming platforms, and that way they can go directly to it. What we also have included is your calendar. So pretty much you can set your days, you can set your price for your days and automate your booking. So initially talking to Lloyd, my idea was all here, it was there, it was over here, it was over there. It was like, all right, Quinn, I get it. You got a lot that you want to do, but we need you to bring it in just a little bit and then work on your pitch, your story, and how you're going to bring it full circle to get people to understand what you're trying to create.
Most of the programs here wasn't inclusive, and so we said we'll focus on helping founders of color. We also start at the beginning of the thing, at the idea stage, whereas a lot of the programs you see here locally, they start after you're up, and that's not very efficient unless if you don't have a lot of money, you can't recover from your mistakes. And the lean startup system, it actually helps you make mistakes faster before you spend a lot of money. You don't actually start building anything until you got customer buy-in.
There was a need for small businesses to bring brand awareness to their business. I see there's a lot of makers and bakers that they're making all of these goodies and these products, but they can't market it, they can't sell it at the same time, and there needs to be kind of that middleman, that middle person to help bring economic growth to some of the small businesses in Pensacola. So Taste of Pensacola, I came up with that idea during the pandemic when I saw things at that time that Amazon couldn't fulfill. They didn't even have those products, but the local people in the community, they did. And so there was a ton of people coming out saying, hey, I make masks. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. All the local people here that are just as talented that can actually make those products. And so I wanted to kind of showcase who they were. So with Taste of Pensacola, our income streams, we have several of them. We have the corporate America, we do corporate gifting, just regular consumers, different Pensacola natives that don't live here that want to purchase our boxes, like a taste of weddings, distribution. So we also do bulk sales. So for a private airline, if they want some local snacks and goodies on their passenger flights, they will come to Taste of Pensacola and we will source their vendors here locally. And we'll give a small business owner an opportunity to have reoccurring monthly sales. I've always had a really big vision for Taste of Pensacola. I knew that it could go beyond just local. I know that maybe other communities could possibly use the same platform that I'm trying to build. And I always have these big visions, but I never know how to even get there. Where do I start? I know it's more than, there's a lot of technical things behind it. I know there's a lot of research, but that connection, I never had it until, thankfully, I met and was introduced to Startups on the Blocks and was able to just learn more about how to grow it in terms of data. Things I just never thought about, framework, words like traction. There's a lot of things that I just did not know about and language that I need to know in order to get funding for my business. There's just a lot that I didn't know.
I would go to the stores and look online. They didn't have a wide variety of natural hair products about 8 years ago. And the ones that they did have, the ingredients, it would say that they were all natural. And when I would research the ingredients, a lot of the ingredients were not natural. I make everything, my shampoo, conditioner, I have an oil that I make, and I have 2 different separate butters. Like I had some people who were completely bald and grew their hair. It's about giving women their confidence back in their hair. I have this salon and I have a second salon, and I have my products in about 5 beauty supply stores. So I need a manufacturer to keep up with the demand at this point. Startup on the Blocks has helped my business grow. Send me to different people. I'm able to do different pitch competitions to apply for grants in the community for small businesses. Lloyd's a really good person to connect with. He has a lot of resources here in the community that can help small businesses grow. If you have a product out there and you're trying to go big time, he's the person that you would want to meet with.
So it's really important to have some type of support because 9 times out of 10, most founders start out on their own. And to have somebody that has an idea of how the ecosystem works and is able to tap into other resources and bring back to the community, and that pretty much has encountered some of the roadblocks or going through the same roadblocks that we're currently going through and understands where you're at, your culture and how you respond to things, is a big help because you don't really have too many people that have access to what we have access to here in the community. And a lot of people believe that you have to leave and go to bigger cities to do the things that we're doing here. But I mean, it's one thing to have exposure, but you have to actually know it's here in the community in order to take advantage of the resources. So I get approached and I talk to friends all the time that wants to either start an idea or hear that I'm actually doing the app and wants to know more information about how are you doing it or what's the process, what's the path. I'm like, man, we have somebody here, Startup on the Blocks, Lloyd Richard. And Lloyd is here, he's a great resource to the community and to founders that's trying to learn the ecosystem. So join Startup on the Blocks.
Welcome, welcome. How's everybody? Good to
Wonderful.
see you, Lucy and Ebony and Asafu. We're so glad to have you here for our sixth cohort demo day for Black Founder Program. This is probably about a 10th demo day. We did 4 demo days with Blacks in Technology and 6 here with the Black Founder Program. So we're glad that you all are volunteering to help our founders out to judge this. Want to take a second for you all, starting with Coach Lucy. Welcome back to introduce yourself.
My name's Lucy, and I am the co-founder and CEO of the Force for Health Network, where we're trying to gamify this concept of healthy citizenship for individuals and communities that care. I'm based in Tucson, Arizona, and I think this is my 4th time participating. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. All right, Ebony.
Hello, good evening. And I feel like having had a chance to do a session for Startup on the Block, I think earlier this year or maybe end of last year, I do feel like this is kind of a bit of home, and I appreciate the work that Lloyd and Robin and Lloyd Jr. are doing in Pensacola. So we are a company that focuses a lot on marketing technology in terms of how we can help people with their marketing stack and also cybersecurity. So we are very excited to be here with you guys.
Asafu.
Awesome. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Asafu Thomas. I'm the founder of Naya Labs. We're a venture studio. We co-build startups with founders that are subject matter experts. We take lead on the tech and the product strategy, and we work with founders to build great products. I'm based in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. I think this is my second time, and
Yes.
I'm happy to be here and listen to all the great pitches tonight.
All righty. Yeah, so we're excited. And like I said before, most of these founders this is their first business model story pitch. And there's a few that have pitched before, but they're learning how to create a scalable business model. And they're supposed to have already stress tested their business models. So yeah, so just appreciate you all supporting them in their journey. All right, Lloyd Jr., we can get the show on the road.
Wow, wonderful. Well, thank you, judges, for being here. I'm going to have you all step off for a moment and we will begin. So our founders will be pitching for 3 minutes, and then they will be followed by a 4-minute question and answer period where they will be able to, the judges will be able to ask them more questions about their startup. And our first founder that we will have pitching this evening will be Stephanie Sidat with her startup, Rise Early Foundation. Okay, give me one moment to have her pull up.
Hello,
Yeah.
can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. And
Awesome, thank you.
your time starts now.
Okay, thank you. From my teen years to my late 20s, my life was filled with fast cash and not enough knowledge. I too suffered a similar crisis to those during COVID 19. With both my brother and half a million gone, I had to turn things around. My purpose was discovered to educate and empower those in need on what I needed the most, which was life and financial literacy skills. 2023 marks the birth of our nonprofit, the Rise Early Foundation. Why now? Post COVID, the stats are there. According to the DOE, only half of third graders can read on their level. And what happens to the teens that don't have financial literacy courses? They won't be able to build credit or even purchase a home as a young adult. With the market opportunity, um, companies spend billions of dollars on initiatives, and from Title I federal funding in schools, religious institutions, and the government, we can all work together to solve our youth's problems by supporting these initiatives. From left to right, our problems start with students who don't have literacy opportunities. Maybe there are budget cuts within the school, there are not enough educators within their community and their family and parents' homes. They are having day-to-day societal issues. Maybe their parents are working 2 to 3 jobs and aren't able to educate them on financial literacy. So our holistic approach for our solution starts with the communities like the city of Kissimmee, where we host our youth enrichment series, one-on-one small talks, and provide books and resources to our students who are in need. And the unfair advantage is that we integrate life hands-on literacy in our communities to solve real problems that they are facing. Our revenue streams vary, make it easy for corporations to sponsor and choose between our bronze, silver, and gold packages. Our key metrics start off with 20 students who we currently serve, and our rollout plan over the next 3 years is to reach 600 students, which is scalable and realistic with our direct business model. The more corporate dollars and grants we receive, the more students we serve. Here we have our traction roadmap where we highlight the increase. And our team is knowledgeable and determined to build our system, but we need your help. We are seeking $200,000 in sponsorships and grants in order to educate our students through our plug and play cohorts. Thank you. Any questions?
Beautiful job. We'll go ahead. You had 23 seconds left on the clock, but we'll go ahead and have the judges come up for questions. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Ebony.
Can we go back to the team slide, and can you tell me
Yes,
who's on the
ma'am.
team and what expertise they bring?
Yes. So we have from left to right is myself. I am the founder and director of the Rise Early Foundation. We have Jessica Mateo. She specializes in social work and she's worked in nonprofit for over 20 years. Shantia Lee, she works in tech and with young adults as well. And Lauren Fowler, she works with Rollins College and she works with nonprofit as well. And so we just vary from leadership, fundraising, specialty, partnerships. So we have our team of 4. And I'm sorry, did that answer your question?
It did. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So graphically and the way that you did, you hit all the points. So that's great. I'm not quite sure you hit the unfair advantage. Was there an unfair advantage slide in there?
There was, and I'm sorry, one second, right here. Our unfair advantage basically goes over our life and literacy integration. So we take a lot of real problems that youth are dealing with and we incorporate the community. So we can work with certain banks and with other community partners that would come in and maybe do like a Money Monday, and they'll teach the kids how to write checks, how to do debit and credit analysis when they're having income, or the 50-30-20 method. So we share all of those like hands-on in the setting that we are in.
So I had that one question, and then I'm just going to have 2 general comments. Okay. Number one is
Okay.
I would encourage you to slow down because I feel like you went through, there's good information, but I feel like the intention was to get through quickly as opposed to authentically. Okay. So you've got a great story to tell. And I just felt like you lost points for not necessarily having the authenticity coming through, and at early stage and ask, that is going to be critical. That's just one feedback point. The other feedback point, I mean, you did great. The presentation shows itself. I think the slide prior, whenever you do a number, your text size on the market size, go back to your market, right there. To me, that's very small. Yeah, I think that you could do that graphically much more impactful. But really, that's just kind of my feedback. I mean, I've done a lot of these. I think your deck is awesome, and you did hit most of the key points. I might question you that unfair advantage is that place where you really want to question, is it an unfair advantage or not? Or do we just think it is? Okay, so that's just my feedback. Slow down, bring more of your personality through, make numbers pop, and really look at unfair advantage and see if you can state that in a better, more, okay? That's my coaching. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Lucy.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. We have about 48 seconds. Great job and great pitch there, Stephanie. And what has been one of your favorite things about this 4 weeks in the cohort before we go?
My favorite thing was the fact that I was able to put it all together and have the support of Lloyd. He was really like hands-on in there to guide me through anything. And I really love what I do. I've been in this space for maybe like 2 years now. Real estate was my first love, and then I moved into education. And just the fact that I'm here, I'm just in love with like all of the different processes and groups, like genuinely, like real deal. Like I just am in love with the process because I'm really waking up every day dedicated to what my purpose and my mission is. And if I'm just on that path, because I already made all my mistakes, early on, and so I can't afford any more mistakes. So I'm just in love with the process.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and we appreciate you. You can go join the live now, and best of luck to you. All righty. Our next founder coming up will be Jonathan Puntu, and he is with TMFE Sports Group NIL Agency. All right, Jonathan, I'll bring you on up here. Oh, excuse me. All right, Jonathan, thank you for coming. All righty, your time starts now, sir.
Thank you so much. And I feel terrible because Lloyd explicitly told us to make sure our computer was ready, and I'm slowly having technical difficulties. So I'm going to try the best I can, just because my computer is being a little slow. I think my slides may be moving faster than I can actually see. But I'm Jonathan Putu. I'm a sports and entertainment attorney who've been practicing for about 8 years now. And I became an attorney because when I was a student athlete, I'm a former college athlete, no one told me the importance of representation, and especially no one told me the importance of representation in the Black community. We have a very strong, powerful community, but we don't always have people who look like us who are able to inform us of all the importance of legal contracts, protecting your brand, and helping you take things to the next level. And that was my passion for going to law school and the reason why I created this industry. So why now? In 2021, the NIL industry exploded. For the first time ever, the NCAA allowed college athletes to be able to profit off of their name, image, and their likeness. Now, 2025, this took things to a whole nother level where they also allowed athletes to be able to participate with revenue sharing, which would ensure college athletes the opportunity to make, if not hundreds of thousands, but millions of dollars by the time they graduate. What is the marketing opportunity? There's about 5 million high school athletes, including college athletes, and this NIL industry is getting ready to explode to $2 billion annually. Now, the biggest risk. What's the problem? Like, athletes don't even realize what their brand is, who they are, or what they need protected, versus schools and brands themselves have experts from Hollywood with years of experience negotiating these deals on the other side. Brands themselves also don't know exactly where to find athletes to make sure they can take advantage of the ROI, while universities don't know the best ways to keep in compliance with athletes. The solution is an NIL agency where brands can come and find athletes, where athletes can find representatives to take care of them, and where schools can make sure they stay in compliance not to lose their eligibility with athletes. Our unfair advantage: 16 years of experience within the industry, working at some of the top leagues in the world, the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, as well as National Hockey League and golf.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. We're going to have the judges come up and ask their questions now.
Okay.
Any judges? Asafu, you have your hand up there? Okay.
Jonathan, thank you for the pitch there. Your background is interesting. I would like to learn a little bit about the business model.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the
Can you
question.
tell me about the business model? Yeah.
Yes. So we're an NIL agency where we have attorneys, agents, and managers who essentially we recruit athletes. I currently have a client list of 3 athletes that are signed, 5 more that are on the way, where we go in, we help them navigate the NIL space. There's so many questions because this industry just launched just less than 4 years ago. And we attend their athletic competitions. So whether it's their high school football games or their college football games, we explain to them how this industry works. Given my experience within the entertainment industry, I worked at a top talent agency for about 5 years, WME, global international agency, where I learned from the top clients, top A-listers, exactly what the ceiling is of their deals and the floor of their deals. And the biggest question I get from parents is, well, what is our value? What should we be looking for? For them, we have kids between 15 years old at the youngest up to 22 at their oldest. And their parents, for the most part, this is the first time in their lives that they're experiencing this level of wealth. And they don't know where to start. They don't know where to look for. There's a lot of agents and attorneys out there who are just looking to exploit them. So my 16 years within the industry has given me an outlook that allows me to be able to talk to them, explain to them, hey, this is what you're going into, this is what you're up against, and these are the important things. So the recruiting model as far as getting clients themselves is going, attending the schools. A lot of it is also word of mouth referrals. There's not too many people out there who are actually doing this because it's so new. From the top agency level, agencies are risk averse in general. They rather let someone else figure it out before they enter into the game. So it's about a 2 or 3 year window before the top agencies are actually getting involved, which leaves room for a lot of people who don't know what they're doing necessarily to jump in the game early and to misguide these athletes. And because there's no standard, the NCAA themselves has not set any type of policy with regards to regulation. There is no way for an agent to go and actually get an agent license within NIL currently. It's just free for all, go at your will, good luck, essentially. So I'm using our experience to come into this industry like, hey, I've actually been there. I've been licensed before. I know what I'm talking about. I'm here to help navigate and help you learn this industry itself. When it comes to the universities itself, obviously I didn't get a chance to get to that slide. The universities risk, if they do not end up in compliance as far as making sure they protect athletes' eligibility, or if athletes sign bad brand deals, they can lose their eligibility and therefore end up in a position where they can no longer play on the team. So it's important for universities to be able to get their athletes the right information where they're able to protect themselves. Otherwise, they lose, risking not only just playing time, but the money from all the brand deals and TV licensing deals themselves that they've signed. And for brands, what it comes down to is brands are trying to take advantage. Since COVID-19, they've looked to athletes and entertainers to be able to do marketing deals for them. Their goal ultimately is to attract Gen Z and Gen Alpha. And for them, a lot of that is social media apps, TikTok, things of that sense. So they're attracted to working with athletes, but they don't know the right athletes to work with, or who to work with, as far as making sure that they're able to obtain the information that they need. So our agency also works with brands by directing them to our athletes.
All righty. Thank you so much, Jonathan. And thank you, Asafu, for your questions. If you go ahead and go to the live, and we'll see you hopefully at the awards presentation.
Thank you all so much.
Mm-hmm. Our next founder for our cohort 6 is Zariah Ivory with Zai Dreams Pilates. Hi, Zariah. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Your time starts now.
Perfect. Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. My name is Zariah. A little bit about Zai Dreams Pilates and how it started. I previously worked in education as an education specialist for students with moderate to severe special needs. And though it was deeply meaningful work, it was very taxing emotionally, mentally, spiritually, on all levels. So in order to refill my cup, I turned to Pilates. I found a Pilates gym. I found a Pilates gym in my neighborhood, and I signed up, started a membership, and literally went to work every day. Went to Pilates every day as a way to decompress after work. So that's a little bit of how I got started. Zai Dreams is a Pilates-centered wellness studio. My why now is severely because of COVID. COVID reset wellness habits, gyms were closed, stress and isolation soared, and virtual became the norm. At that time, I was still an educator, so I had to turn to teaching remotely, which was a task in itself. Stress and burnout were at record highs, and from that time, hybrid became the new norm, and it's here to stay. So I now offer virtual services and will soon offer in-person services through my own privately owned studio. What's at stake? The global wellness industry is worth $5 trillion and it's growing fast. However, if wellness is inaccessible and not inclusive, millions will continue to be left behind, missing out on the physical, emotional, and social benefits of true self-care, which will lead to burnout, which we want to avoid for everyone, our community. My solution, the Zai solution, is creating a wellness center, a hub that integrates Pilates principles, meditation, sound baths, and life coaching. My goal is to build accessible programs that fit into daily life while creating a safe, inclusive community where people are seen and supported. The advantage with Zai Dreams Pilates is who we are and what we represent. As a Black woman-owned business in an industry that's often exclusive, and with lived experience, community credibility, and a unique blend of Pilates, meditation, and coaching, Zai Dreams Pilates stands apart. In recent news, there's always someone saying how Pilates is only for a certain type of cohort of community of people, and I'm here to let everyone know that's not true. In terms of revenue streams, I currently have 3 main sources of...
Oh, I really want you to finish that, but it is your time. Judges,
Okay.
whenever you're ready, your time starts now. Coach Lucy.
I will give you a minute back. So what's your revenue stream? What are your key metrics? What's your rollout plan?
Thank you. So I have recurring subscriptions. I offer a weekly Sunday Pilates class where the goal is to help people feel rejuvenated and ready for their day and for the week. I offer one-on-one coaching. I offer group classes, and I also offer meditation services. And my key metrics, I'm looking right now, I started this summer and I'm already at 20 clients and growing. And that's both virtually and in person. My goal is to reach $10 million per year through this company. And these are my metrics here, which lay out what I would need to do. And
Okay.
again,
And so when you're talking about getting to $10 million and you're talking about a brick and mortar studio in conjunction with a virtual online platform, how do you think you can get there? What's that mechanism look like?
Well, definitely through advertising, community outreach. Right now, I'm doing a lot of I go to different universities and offer classes, and that's a way for me to the exposure. A lot of people are interested. A lot of people, their first time, they're new to Pilates, and once they come once, they always come back. So just through outreach and virtually, I work with people in other states. So right now I'm based in Florida, but I have clients that are in New York. I have clients that are in LA. So I'm virtually reaching out to all states. It's very inclusive to everyone.
But your goal is to get a network of Pilates instructors who can do what you do?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That was my team right now. I'm the founder. It's me. I'm credentialed in Pilates, teaching Pilates as a life coach and as a meditation coach. And my goal is to grow a team of inclusive instructors that align with my mission.
Do you have an ask?
So
go ahead. I didn't know if there's another question. Go ahead. Go to
Hi, Zaraya. Thanks for the pitch. I'm curious. I know starting every business, there's some bumps along the way. Curious, what are some of your, false starts and things that you've learned just through your process building your business so far?
Yeah, the biggest thing I learned is that I always have to keep going and not give up. For example, I run a weekly series called Soulful Sunday Pilates, and there has been a Sunday where no one showed up, whether it was too early, they were out partying the night before. But what I did was, instead of saying, oh, no one's going to join, I literally made content about it. And I'm like, this is what I do when no one joins my class. And I showed how I still went through. And then my next week, it was full with clients. So just keep going and just being repetitive with my message.
Great. And as of now, regarding your team, is it just you?
Right now, it's just me.
Okay.
Beautiful. We have 37 seconds, so give us a little short thing of what you enjoyed about Cohort 6, Soraya.
Oh, I'm going to sound repetitive, but I really love the support from Lloyd. He was very hands-on. He was very accessible. If I ever had a question or needed to check in, he was there for me. And I learned so much. When I did my bachelor's program, I was a business major. However, I did my master's in education. And I feel like there were a lot of things that changed from when I was in school, and Lloyd was there to help me along the way and teach me all the new things. I really love the traction map, learning how to scale my business. He even pushed me. He was like, you need to ask for more. You need to scale it higher. So just taking risk and not being afraid to do them was very helpful and encouraging to me.
Awesome. Well, wonderful job. And go ahead and go to the live, and then we will hopefully see you back at the awards time. Great job again.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. All righty. Our next founder is Alex Stinnett with Laminautics. How are you doing, Alex?
I'm doing well, Lloyd. How about you?
Wonderful. Your time starts now.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Alex, founder and CEO of Laminautics. As a research student, I saw that most health advice, from news to doctors, comes from academic research. Yet only 0.006% of Americans, the scientists, produce this knowledge, leaving nearly everyone else excluded. This bothered me because their priorities don't always match national health needs. Heart disease is the top killer, but gets just 4% of the research, while most people remain unaware and uninvolved. But thanks to social media, we live in an era of democratization. From politics to business, people demand more input on decisions affecting their lives. So why not also extend this to medical research? If research stays controlled by a few, major issues like heart disease may remain understudied. That means incomplete info, poor treatments, and medical gaslighting for those whose conditions fall outside of limited study results. Without change, America will keep suffering some of the worst health outcomes among developed nations. Over 4 billion people globally are interested in health, culture, and community. In the US, 85 million have shown interest in Black culture and community. Of these, 1% will be our early adopters. What if Tracy, someone with no research background, wanted to understand her family's history of uterine fibroids? She wants answers for her family and hopes others can benefit from what she learns too. But her options are limited. University training and research takes years to complete and connections. Research apps exclude non-academics, and self-publishing is costly with low acceptance. For most people like Tracy, finding a simple way to gain and produce the same health insights as researchers is nearly impossible. So we built a platform where anyone, not just medical researchers, can conduct and participate in meaningful health research. Think of it as a Facebook for research, accessible, social, and fun. Users gain social influence by making quick mini-studies while generating real-time insights that help whole communities. Users start with an assessment that sorts them into a biotribe, which are groups with shared biological and social data. From there, you can run mini-studies, simple questions that auto-link to participant traits, and publish them to threads. These spark new conversations and discoveries with findings aggregated in real time for every biotribe to explore. Our unfair advantage is the large community and network effects that will drive massive engagement on the platform. Like Facebook, we're multi-sided, individuals on one side, organizations on the other. Individuals get one free mini-study weekly or pay $40 per month for unlimited access. Our minimum goal is $1 million in recurring revenue by 2028, requiring 435,000 users with less than 1% paying monthly. We're finalizing our MVP now, aiming for 21 paying customers by the end of 2026 and 208 paying customers by the end of 2027. I bring 5 years of research experience, and our team combines 15 years in app development, marketing, and operations. We're seeking 25,000 to reach 208 paying customers by 2027, with most funds going to product and customer acquisition. And last, we invite you to scan the QR code to join our waitlist and be among the first to join the research revolution. Thank you, and what are your questions?
Bravo, with the 6 seconds to spare. Judges? All righty, Ebony.
So, can we go back to the rollout plan for me, please? Okay. And considering where you're at right now and where you want to be in a couple of years, what audiences are going to help you get to each of those levels between now, next, and later? Who will you be relying on to help you get there besides your team?
Right. In the early stages, I already know a few people from like previous like business cohorts I've been in who fit the early adopter segment. So people like that who've already shown some interest in what I'm doing. I've done a few customer interviews and built a few relationships there. So basically a combination of people I already know as the very first adopters, and then later on people who just fit the demographic through like YouTube ads and things like that.
Okay, so you have to recruit two types of audiences, correct? The ones to do the research and the ones who are searching for the research. Am I understanding that correctly?
No, it's more just right now, just one audience, which are end users who both are doing the research and participating in the research.
Okay.
They could do either one depending on which they prefer.
Okay, yeah. So there could be people who will not actually do the research, but are there for the research. So
Exactly.
It's kind of like two audiences in a way.
I would say that it's just like kind of with a social media where you have some people who do post and others who just lurk around in that they're doing two different things, but it's kind of, they're both end users at the end of the day that are often within a similar segment.
Okay. Yeah, I would consider, even with the social media example that you gave, having worked with Meta before as a client, I would just encourage you to rethink my question.
All right, thank you. And just
It was
to
a great
add,
presentation.
Yeah, so I think that's a perfect slide, and maybe I'll
Which one?
just kind of piggyback off of what she was saying. And so, have you basically aggregated a group of researchers with trials that are seeking people, and so you're just now going and recruiting those people to match, or do you have to go again, kind of go find the researchers and then also the individual? First of all, let me just say, in all the years that I've done this coaching, your presentation and your deck is one of the best that I've seen. So awesome job on that.
Thank you.
I even want to have a conversation outside this to see if there's any ways that we could maybe help at all accelerate any of this stuff. I think you're right there. But so that was the question. It's like, because there's a whole bunch of, and is it minority health then focused? because a lot of minorities don't actually like to participate. One of our things is that we're trying to share the reasons why you want to, so that you can feed into the research that your grandkids can kind of benefit from.
Sure. I just want to clear something up because I see some of the questions are about this. I focused for this presentation on the individual segment. So the individual end users who would use it kind of as a social media, but I also do have 3 others who would be more like back end users, and they would be more like, in the case of, say, the clinical research sites, they would use the platform to easily recruit people for clinical trials, since clinical recruitment is a bit of like a difficulty that a lot of them tend to have. But I didn't focus on it for this presentation since the individuals are the largest segment. And then in addition to that, medical clinics and biopharma companies would also be using the platform again to kind of access the individual data to use for their own needs.
With the caveat on that user coming in and saying, you can use my research for X, you can use my data.
Yes, that part is like more, I think, a part of how that would be.
That's wonderful. I want you to finish answering, Alex, but I got to cut you off. Thank you, Coach Lucy. Thank you, Alex. Wonderful presentation. And you can go ahead and go to the live now to watch the remainder of the pitch demonstration. We'll move forward to our next founder, Chelsea Brody, with ICEA Optical Outfitters and Boutique. Wonderful. How are you doing today, Chelsea?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Your time starts now. Oh, let me picture it. I thought it was up here. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So good evening. I just want to kind of start with, imagine you're in a low-income family. Your family's on Medicaid, Medicare, and you go to get your eyeglasses and you have to travel. You have to plan to travel, take off work. It takes an hour to get to your exam. And then when it comes to your doctor, they can do your exam. The exam's for free, but you have to pay for your eyeglasses. And your eyeglasses, you can't find them for the coverage costs, or the provider doesn't pay or cover them, so you have to pay out of pocket. I created ICEA to kind of bridge that gap. I've been in this industry for about 11 years. And what I'm seeing in our area, specifically in Escambia County, is that local optical practices aren't meeting the needs. Specifically, the cost, there's confusion exactly to who's a provider, who's not. And there's really this sticker shock when it comes to the actual price of glasses. The optical industry is a $68 billion industry. Florida has about 3 million exams a year. And of the 327 people in Escambia County, about 300 of them need eyewear. Of that amount, I would say about 20% are in a federally funded program like Medicaid or Medicare. So the problem is there's a lack of providers. For that 20%, you can only find probably about 4 or 5 doctors who will actually do the exams completely covered. However, if it comes to actual eyewear materials, there are barely any. And when I say barely, I mean about 2 or 3 in the area. Of those 2 or 3, you do have the big box retailers, but most are private opticals, and you always have to wait for your eyeglasses. So you have to wait about 2 or 3 weeks for your eyeglasses. So the solution is ICEA. I got ICEA for my name, Chelsea. I always tell people, like, see you later when you get your glasses. So what we are is an on-demand optical. We accept all vision plans, and you get expert guidance from an optician, which is what I am, versus an optometrist practice. The unfair advantage is myself. I'm a licensed optician. I have been licensed for 4 years, been in the industry for 11. And I could tell you right now that very few retailers actually have an on-site lab. Not all participate in vision plans, but I will participate in all vision plans, specifically Medicare and Medicaid. Our revenue streams will be our same-day service premiums, the accepting Medicare and Medicaid, and then eventually adding on clinic doctors and second-tier products. My business model is to have a $1 million AAR, and our roll-up plan right now, we're in pre-launch. I'm hoping to get the permits, licensing, and vendors and everything acquired first before we actually launch in the next 12 months. And then I'm the team.
That is our time. That is our time. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Judges, are you all prepared? Okay, we have Ebony here.
Yeah, and like 15 seconds for each of these. I do need to go back to that key metric slide, and then I need to know what your ask is.
My ask is 385,000 for the building, startup cost, the stock of the lens frame, labor, and then the key metrics slide. Yeah, so I'm trying to get it to where my annual recurring revenue is $1 million. I'm expecting customers. I have it at $550 a month because my expectation is that the customer will come in, they'll use their Medicare benefits. I'll be a provider, therefore I can cover one pair of eyewear, but people don't want the basics. They never want the basics. So in addition to offering that basic pair, I'm basically, that's the price of admission. You get that basic pair and of course they want more. So providing, name brand frames, transition lenses, all that good stuff. That is where I'm going to bang the buck. Also aftercare, accessories, cases, cloths. People are going to come back for warranties, repairs. All those are going to be recurring costs that a person's going to need for the lifetime of their glasses, quite honestly.
Okay. And so the end part of scaling to those number of customers, is that from out of that one location, or is there some type of expansion that's planning to happen to get you to that number for July 2020?
Yes, there's going to be an expansion number. So what I wanted to communicate was that Medicare glasses, usually as a retailer, you can get about $25 back from those glasses. So $25 pair for $1 million, it's quite a lot of glasses. So this is just for a basic Medicare practice, Medicare Medicaid practice. I would consider that my first tier, and I have plans of expanding into 2 more tiers. I guess I could go over there. One would be like a family size clinic, kind of business professionals. And then the next would be like an actual curated optical boutique where you can actually choose lens materials. You'll get a curated experience with a licensed optician, choose frame colors, all of that stuff. So this is just a foundation for a larger plan.
Okay, thank you.
Judges, we have about 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Cool.
All right, Coach Lucy.
So again, excellent presentation. I think that you did a great job. And I love that this is your subject matter expertise that you are addressing. And I love your name. I love ICEA, right? And so do you actually have any paying clients now doing this with you? Okay.
No. So Florida has a lot of restrictions when it comes to selling eyeglasses. And the business model is usually a doctor, an optician, which is myself, and then, the practice. I'm removing the doctor completely. So I'm opening this myself. And that permitting process and that licensing process is completely different. So that is what I'm starting off with. My ask of, a standalone building, getting the stock, the equipment, frame vendors, all of that stuff.
Are others already in the space?
Yes.
So what's the competition like?
So I would say we call Pensacola Eyeglass Alley. You probably have about 5 big competitors in the area. I'm only looking to capitalize on about 10% of the market. Of those 70,000 people who have Medicaid, I'm looking probably about 17,000. But by accepting all insurance plans, I'm hoping to, take a good chunk of everyone else.
Yes. My presence means that is our time. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Coach Lucy.
Thank you.
Wonderful job, Chelsea. You can go join the live now. We're going to take a short break from the pitches, and we will have our next round of founders up momentarily. So first, audience, give them a round of applause. We just want to really congratulate Stephanie, Jonathan, Zariah, Alex, and Chelsea on such a wonderful presentation and pitches.
Yes, I just wanted to remind the judges, I think, Asafo, you need to enter your scores in the spreadsheet. That's all I need to do.
All righty, thank you, thank you. So, getting back to it, we have a few more founders to pitch. As you can see, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of effort. It is very nerve-wracking to get everything out in 3 minutes, but being prepared is really awesome. And as a person who is kind of moderated each one of these demo days, I will tell you it's rare to have not one but two people finish their pitch before the 3 minute mark. So that's pretty amazing to see everyone keep it such concise time. So I really want to congratulate them. Now, our next founders are Tony Jefferson, Bree McCassell, Don Brightful, and Carlos Kiles. So as they come on backstage and begin sharing their slides, we will go ahead and get started with them shortly. So in the comments, audience, please let us know what you're thinking about these business ideas. I love these comments that we're seeing. Jackie is really being vocal here. She says, I see ya, Chelsea. Okay, so we love that kind of energy. There's so much positivity from each and every person that is out there. Thank you, Kevin. That's wonderful, wonderful comments there. And so I'm just going back to see a few things. You know, we find that sometimes people find that they need different products here. So this should be super encouraging, hopefully, to our founders that have been speaking. We love everything that they're doing, and this is just one step in the process. So if you have already pitched and you're backstage, you can definitely step off from backstage momentarily and go watch the live. And then we will call all the founders back up just before we are about to, the judges are ready, while the judges are deliberating. And we would just have a little chat about this experience tonight, about Cohort, that kind of thing. So after our last founder pitches, the judges will go into deliberation. And then I will call up the founders that have been pitching today and to just get their feedback on their experience in Cohort 6. So let's see if our founders are ready behind the scenes. Okay, I see a few of them there. All righty. Our next founder is ready, so we are going to go ahead and get started. This will be Tony Jefferson with travelsession.com. How are you doing today, Tony? You're muted currently.
I'm good.
How are you today? Wonderful, wonderful. Your time will go ahead and start now.
All right, thank you. Hi, I'm Tony Jefferson, the founder of travelsession.com, the social platform for personalized travel discovery. The travel industry works on a flawed premise. They hyper-focus on a few destinations. If everyone else likes it, so will you. But that's why you're seeing things like protests in Barcelona and extra fees to visit Venice. I lived overseas for 11 years while I was in the military, so traveling, I saw this firsthand. And that's led me to come up with personalized travel discovery. The idea is simple. Travel should be about the traveler, not the destination. Real travelers, real reviews, real ideas. We achieve this through our proprietary technology, such as our personalized travel ratings, interactive profiles, and community-driven discovery. Travel discovery through people, not algorithms. This gives our users a personalized and trustworthy experience, and for advertisers, a high-intent audience. Personalization is the key. The travel industry relies on a few oversaturated markets, leaving billions of dollars on the table in untapped markets, and we are uniquely positioned to take advantage of that. Our business model is simple and scalable. Currently, we're monetizing through Google AdSense, which we can scale to 20 million annually. But long-term, we want to manage ads in-house, leveraging our unique data sets and insights. Our primary metric is user growth. We already have 1,400 users proving market demand. Our goal is 50,000 within the next year, which will put us on track for our product market fit. We've proven clear traction by being invited to the Black Ambition Florida Fundable Founders Program and being named the finalist in the 2025 Victor Awards for Best Startup. The team right now is just me, but I have a clear vision for my leadership team, and I'm working with a developer to handle some of the tech stuff so I can focus on scaling the business. We aren't currently raising at this time, but I'm always open to a conversation. What we're most in need of is mutually beneficial strategic partnerships for building our community and our brand. I'm excited about the progress we've made and getting ready for our launch, hopefully at the end of this year. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Wow, that was quick. 14 seconds to spare. Asafu is already ready for those questions. Go ahead.
Yes, Tony, thanks for the pitch. I love the deck. Travel is obviously a very competitive space. What are some of the things that's setting you apart? The way you're approaching the market. What sets travel sessions apart?
So one of the biggest things about our site is travel recommendations, and you can get travel recommendations from anywhere. You can go to Google, you can go to Facebook, and they'll give you suggestions, but what do they know about you? What are they taking about you into account when they give you those suggestions? Our platform is designed to personalize things towards you, to find the places that really fit your travel style.
And what are you? How are you personalizing that?
So it all starts in your profile. Your profile, you select your travel styles. And basically what we're doing is when you're giving somebody else a travel recommendation, we're giving them extra context into you as a traveler, and they're getting extra context as you as a traveler. One example I always use is, let's say I'm someone who goes out, I hang out in the bars till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, but you're someone who is up early at the crack of dawn and goes hiking and stuff. My travel recommendations do nothing for you. You need to find travel recommendations from people who travel like you. And my platform helps people connect with those like-minded travelers.
Got it. Thank you for that. I understand.
I think I'm missing a clear understanding of your revenue stream. What are the different ways in which you're making money? How is this platform,
By running ads on the platform.
So the ads are, so it's a free platform anyone can go on, sign up for, but your revenue is mainly through ads, and those ads are through first party, or they're through marketplace where you're
right now
doing
we're just
affiliate
utilizing
links.
Google AdSense.
Okay.
But the long-term goal is to manage ads in-house, because one thing I figured out is that people don't mind ads if you're trying to sell them what they want.
So how are you securing my particular desires and who I am as a profile?
Because you're giving that information in your profile. That's
okay, but tell me how you're securing that information.
You mean from a cybersecurity standpoint?
Yeah. Is the platform built yet, or it's in the process?
Platform is built, yes.
Okay.
But we're using there's a commercial plugin that we're using because there's a commercial plugin that we're using.
Okay.
There's a commercial security.
Okay.
But I mean so my background is cybersecurity. So as the platform grows, that solution isn't going to be enough. But for now, for what we have.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And so then you said you had 1,400 users, right? Yes. And are they all kind of like, hey, come on board and try it out? Or did you sell any of it? Did you monetize any of those? What percentage of those 1,400 are?
No, so this has been a long process. So I didn't really know what I was building at first. So I was just building. I was just building stuff, throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing what stuck. But I needed people to test. So I had users coming on. So it's just been people that have coming on organically, but I haven't really that's part of our go-to-market strategy is re-engaging those folks that have the early interest.
Yeah.
Understand completely.
All right. Thank you, Coach Lucy. Wonderful job, Tony. And we hope to see you at the awards time. Thank you again, sir. Okay. Our next founder is Bree McCassell with Industry Organized. How are you, Bree?
I'm doing great. Great to be here. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing well. I'll let your time go ahead and get started now.
All right. Well, my name is Bree McCassell, and this story is about building America. Our family was devastated by a powerful storm, and it caused a large-scale damage. And there was an immediate need for quality contractors. It was difficult to identify licensed and insured contractors. Any contractor can claim to be operating a legitimate business. So with the rise in scammers and more destructive storms and becoming more prevalent, and each day there's tech advancements are being made, and there's a shift in searches from looking from your friends or word of mouth to looking for Google, Facebook, or digital directories. As a homeowner and local governments are turning to these digital searches to find licensed and insured contractors, they aren't showing up. So that's the problem that we're solving here with Industry Organized. It's specifically built for contractors, and it's more than a listing, it's a full toolkit. So it's a license verification, it's profile billing, CRM, and direct lead generation from local home builders. Now, this is a $3 billion underserved market. Our model is pretty simple. We offer free access. There's Advantage package and also a premium tool package. And basically, there's a small commission on verified leads. And what we are doing now is currently we're mobilizing to go live in 2 counties in our first 90 days. What sets us apart is our local first strategy. So we're integrating compliance, workflow, and we're offering engineering and bookkeeping support to small firms so they can go from incomplete to done with professionalism. So our team combines expertise in operations, marketing, and compliance, and we're ready to scale. What we're currently doing right now is we are wanting to expand in 5 more markets. So we're raising $500,000 to finish up the app development and hire customer services staff. As far as our metrics here, it's pretty clear we're targeting 1 million in annual recurring revenue there. And then this is going to be 10% revenue of the market. Currently, where we're at now, we're in the rollout stage where we're onboarding contractors.
All righty. Thank you so much, Ms. Bree. I'll have the judges come on up and begin their deliberation. Judges. Oh, there we go. That's Apu there.
Hi, Bree. Thank you. I'd love to learn more about your background, why you're the right fit to execute on this initiative.
Okay. Well, my background is in strategic communication, and I have a master's in business. So I worked really closely with entrepreneurs and other small business owners. So I know how difficult it can be to do the backroom or in-house management and also successfully run the business. So the services that we're going to be offering will just help and support contractors to do more work and to actually get visible online search access.
Got it. Thank you. And the competitive landscape for that, what does that look like now? And what gives you all, or what are you thinking will be the edge for industry organized?
Well, no one's currently has this particular model. There are some other things out there, like Thumbtack or like Angie's List. They do feature workers, but typically where those models vary is our focus is going to be licensed and verified insurance carriers. So we just won't list anyone. That's our promise to our customers, and that's our advantage, is that the verification process, we will only host those types of specific contractors who are state or county licensed.
Got it. Thank you.
And who's on your team, and how, besides verifying through insurance process, and what does that verification look like? But I'm trying to figure out who's on the team and what compliance review looks like, and how long does that take? Because that seems like that could be a bottleneck. Is there some way that you can do this digitally, or is this a manual process?
So initially, it will be a manual process. That's why we'll be onboarding like more staffers. That's kind of why homeowners and also government contractings have difficult time doing it, because it can be labor intense. But the platform, basically how we are building it out, is in the model itself, we'll basically onboard the contractor with the licensing and the insurance in place, and then monitor those things as they come up for renewal, making sure that they are doing the renewal process in a timely manner to stay compliant.
And who else is on your team? Is it just you?
No, I also, Nicole Louie is a business partner. She's not here tonight, but she has a background in program management and compliance and works closely with the local municipal.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Well, wonderful job, Bree. We have about 44 seconds. How has this experience been for you? You have such a vast degree, and I know you're from the SBDC. So, like, you have this time. How has this cohort helped you specifically in this startup?
Well, the information is always timely. It does help you to check that inventor's mindset or innovator's mindset. So I always appreciate rereading things and just kind of refocusing. But this time around, I would say that it's really the people that are a part of the cohort. You get to learn a lot from the people who are showing up each week, participating, asking the questions, and just sometimes, just having other people to bounce those ideas and concepts off is very valuable.
No, I believe it. Well, we appreciate you being on. You can definitely go watch the live, and we'll have you come back on after everyone is pitched to talk more about that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All righty. Our next founder is Carlos Kiles with Bully Recovery. How are you, Carlos? You're currently muted, Carlos. You're still muted.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm doing great.
All right. Welcome. Your time starts now.
Bully Recovery. Empowering lives, healing hearts. I'm Carlos Kiles. I was bullied into deep depression and self-starvation. I began healing in 2019 through self-improvement after helping my cousin who was being bullied at church, and I was inspired to make a difference. 1 in 5 students report being bullied, and the COVID era surge in online interaction makes bullying incidents harder to monitor. If ignored, victims suffer mental health issues, academic failure, and increased suicidal risk. There's a growth potential with educational software in the growing market. K-12 tech spending exceeds $20 billion a year in the U.S. alone. There's a addressable market of 50 million K-12 students in the U.S. Parents of bullied children often feel helpless. Bullied children suffer long-lasting, damage, and traditional approaches do not help victims recover mentally. Bully Recovery is an online platform that guides students through a structured recovery journey. Key features include personalized self-help curriculum, peer support forums, 24/7 access to trained counselors, and analytics for administrators. We offer a unique blend of curriculum, community, and counseling while being tailored for different needs. Our revenue model is subscription fees are $42 per student or user per year. We have a B2C where we market to parents for bullied child by app stores or partner networks. A B2B software as a service where we sell annually to principals per student subscriptions to school districts. Our key metrics is 1,200 students using the platform in pilot, 70% of registered students actively using one recovery model monthly, and our growth metric is going to be target 10 times users growth by end of year 2. Our rollout plan is to develop a beta launch consumer app or MVP. Next, we're going to analyze feedback, accelerate app, and officially launch. Later, we're going to add virtual events and referral discounts. Right now, it's just me, but I'm currently looking for team members. We are seeking $500,000 in pre-seed funding. These funds will finalize product development, support pilot rollouts, and build our sales marketing team. In return, investors tap into a large and growing market with a recurring revenue model and a mission-driven product. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Woo, 25 seconds to spare, sir. Judges, I'm opening the floor for you all a little early. Okay, Asafu.
Hi, Carlos. Thank you for your pitch. I'm very curious about the revenue model. Could you just tap into that a little bit more? You mentioned students and principals. Very curious about those two streams.
Oh, yes, sir. I plan on setting up, though, to where the parents of the students, though, could pay like $42 a year for their, child, though, if they notice them experiencing bullying, and they can have access to all the resources that they need. And when we start pitching this idea to school districts, we want to set it up to where the principals could pay $42 a year for the students, or if they want to, have like funding and government grants and funding, though, to pay for any students, though, that need help, though, in experiencing, bullying.
Okay. And you have about, I saw 1,200 users currently. How did you get those users, and how are you engaging them on the platform now? I don't believe you said that the platform is built, but there's about 1,200 users.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, the platform is still being built, though, because I'm still currently developing the MVP. And I said to 100 students, though, because that's what I aim for.
Okay, got it. So you don't have, there's not 1,200 people currently working with your platform. That's just a goal.
Oh, yes, sir. It's just a goal.
Okay, got it. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, super quick. You said $42 a student or $42 a year. I'm trying to understand, is that $42 a student, or is that $42 for that school for the entire year and as many students that they put on? Can you explain that to me?
Oh, yes, ma'am. For each student, though, that wants bully recovery and their mother or father, though, can pay for it, though, it'll cost that one student, though, $42, and they'll have access to all those resources in that curriculum and a community, though, for a whole year.
Okay, I'm sorry. I meant from the B2B standpoint. So when you're selling to the principal, what is the school district paying per child?
Oh, that's $42 per child.
Okay, thank you.
This is awesome. I mean, it's a close part to my heart is, you reacting to being bullying and then wanting to solve a problem for it. I guess what I might encourage you is to maybe have kind of a B2C retail type of cost, and then maybe a B2B wholesale type of cost to schools, so that if they are buying in bulk or for coverage, for multiple students, it's a different scale, perhaps. I mean, that's a little bit of what we're trying to do. But also, take a look at the PE teacher space and the grants that support the social emotional learning space, because there is some dollars that probably could be utilized in that bucket as you go out to get some pilots. You don't have really your first school district or anything right now, right? This is just your concept.
Yes, ma'am. It's just a concept.
Yeah. And do you have what's your background? Do you have like therapy background or anything like behavioral counseling? Or is this is my story and this is what I feel would have helped me when I was going through this?
Oh, yes, ma'am. This is just my story, and in a way, though, I'm just sharing things that I learned, though, because there was a time, though, like when I went through bullying for a while and went through rejection, and as I got older, it affected me to the point where I was suicidal and I was just super depressed. But what helped me was self-improvement. But I studied, though, that when it comes to the link between bullying and self-improvement, like if you have a strategy, play all your cards right, though, that could play a huge part, though, in someone's healing, though, who's been bullied. And we want to, apply that same thing even for the bully. Well,
Yeah.
excuse me, for the bully.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Coach Lucy. Wonderful job, Carlos. I appreciate you being on and pitching today. And stick around shortly. We have one more founder, and then we will have all of the founders come on backstage to share with us. Thank you. Okay, our final founder pitching this evening is Don Brightful with Nexus Dragon. How are you doing today, Don?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful. Your time is going to go ahead and start now.
Raj. Hello, my name is Don Brightful. I've always had a drive to protect others from my days in Civil Air Patrol in Philadelphia to 20 years in the United States Air Force. I founded the Nexus Dragon to carry forward this mission, utilizing artificial intelligence solutions that protect urgent care centers, their patients, and the communities they serve. Why now? In the past few years, urgent care providers have had millions of records exposed, lost millions to cyber attacks. And today, adversaries use AI to attack victims, ensures demand continuous compliance, and rapid business expansion leaves urgent care centers even more vulnerable. What's at stake? If we do nothing, urgent care centers face shutdown, patient data leaks, failed audits, and denied insurance claims. Every breach brings lost revenue, broken trust, and patients placed in dangerous situations. What's broken? Urgent care IT is not built for advanced threats. Big providers price for hospitals, not clinics. Audits are rare, and antivirus can't deliver 24/7 defense, leaving clinics with dangerous gaps. Our solution: Dragon Armor Cybersecurity as a Service, an AI-driven outsourced security department for urgent care, delivering monitor, compliance training, threat intelligence, and virtual leadership all in one subscription. Our unfair advantage: we focus on healthcare with experts from CISA, the Department of Defense, industry leaders delivering compliance first, device availability, threat intelligence, and training to scale for the healthcare. How do we make money? Our revenue model is simple. Pricing starts at $25 per month, about $30,000 a year, far less than hiring one security specialist. We add audits, incident response, and training per billing site that scales as the network grows. What's our key metric? At $2,500 per month for our anchor price, 167 customers generate $5 million in revenue within 3 years, with a 4% acquisition, 4% conversion, and 5% referrals. We aim the problem solution fit in 2026 and produce product market fit by 2029. Our rollout plan: today we have Dragon Armor 1.0 with looking for a pilot for 2 customers. Next, we'll provide a fit for 5 customers. Later, we'll scale nationally to 34 customers with $1 million in revenue, then 68 and $2 million in AAR. How do we pull this off? With my background in CISA, as well as having AI defenses and our team of experts, we're like Tony Stark and Jarvis. Nexus Dragon and MSP partners from around the country to help keep the compliance. What's our ask? We're seeking grant funding to build AI-driven security guidance and connections to associate insurers, pilot pilot partners to.
Wonderful job, Don. I have to interrupt you. All right, judges, whenever you're ready. All righty, Ebony.
So I think I mentioned earlier, I do some work in cybersecurity, mainly crisis communications, incident response. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is with your solution, what makes you different than the solutions that already exist for hospital healthcare systems that they specifically focus on that. I mean, I don't want to call those people by name because you're going to beat them when you scale up. So we don't need to call their names, but I'm still not understanding the differentiation between what you're offering. And I also want to understand like why these health systems, when you did your ask, I immediately thought like of healthcare people that I know that are in the IT space, but I wouldn't know what to ask them for you. So if you can give me those two things, I'll be happy.
Raj, great question. Let me answer the first question. So first, the Nexus Dragon is built like Mandiant. And as you know, Mandiant is extremely expensive. So a lot of these small healthcare firms don't have that specialized cybersecurity expertise. Now, for instance, they'll have something like a system administrator, and he also or she also does. She'll look at maybe some CrowdStrike or Sentinel-1 alerts, but that concentrated skill set, it's not there. For the second question, just to run it back, the second question is what makes us different again?
Yes. So like when I'm thinking of, because I was part of InfraGard for a very long time. And I actually led the healthcare sector's meetings. So if I'm thinking back to people who I know in healthcare, I need to figure out what the ask is that might be helpful to connect you that also makes you stand apart. And I think you may have answered part of my question for me because it seems like you're specifically focusing on as these independent practices instead of the large scale hospital networks. Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So our beachhead is specifically are the small healthcare clinics where they have 10 to 15 people. Another thing is, as you know, artificial intelligence isn't really kind of automated, so I kind of equate it to something like an F-35. So an F-35 is one of the most advanced pieces of equipment on the planet, but you still have that human and robot interface that work together in order to deal with asymmetrical threats. So as you know, with the NPM packages in the worm that's propagating right now, that's one of those. How can I put this? That's one of those things that I say a computer will not see with just large data, or large LLM data sets. It kind of takes a person and machine, and such as like companies such as Arctic Wolf or say Huntress, they have 24-hour SOCs, but they don't have that concentrated cybersecurity skill set as in somebody like CISA, FBI, NASA, NSA, and I want to bring that to the small to medium-sized business.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Don, thank you for the pitch. Good stuff. I'd like to learn more about your rollout plan. Can you speak a little bit about how you go after this market? And I imagine it's pretty competitive.
Yeah. So, just like, AI, cybersecurity for a little while is a hot buzzword. So within the next 3 months, I like to start doing workshops on something like Alignable, or maybe on my own workshops that I can host on YouTube, or just specialized workshops where I can just kind of roll out the product. See, the technology is not as important as the concept of what we're trying to do, and the reason why is because we can build anything, right? So I can take it depending on the healthcare facility.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, that means that.
I keep missing the time.
I know, like I pop up and it's like da da da.
I think I'm tired. That's what it is.
All right. So thank you, Don. Stay backstage here for us, judges. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Now is our time where we are going to have our judges go into deliberation. But first, audience members, give them a virtual round of applause to all those who pitched today. Yes, bravi tutti. I love it. I love it. Everyone did a wonderful job. It's not easy to be in front of people in this way and to speak your dreams to life. So we just appreciate everyone for coming on. At this time, I'm going to ask all the founders who pitched today to go ahead and come backstage. And then I see Lloyd Senior has some stuff to add.
Yeah, I just want to make sure the judges see the link, the whereby link to go back to do the deliberations. Okay, so you okay, Lucy and Ebony? Okay, let's see. Okay, I think they're good already.
Awesome. All right. Well, we will see you all back after you all are done deliberating. But if you all can go ahead and exit backstage, I'm going to bring all the founders on. We're gonna have a little chat. So, all righty. I see Chelsea here. I'm gonna have Chelsea come on up, and then I see Don is here. Carlos is here. Let's see if we got a few more coming in. Oh, there's Bree and Alex. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll see if a few more want to get backstage. Stephanie, get on back here. Wonderful. Zaraya, get back here. So I love it. Yeah, everyone, wonderful job. For those of you who are on screen now and live, we're so proud of the work that you all have done. And I just kind of want to hear a little bit about it. You finished. How do you feel?
Nerve wracking.
Oh my God.
Trying to take a nap. I'm old.
I'm not ready to take a nap yet, but I'm glad that I was able to participate, and it's been a really good experience.
Absolutely. Well, we're so happy that you got a chance to come back on with us. So a couple of questions for those of you in cohort 6. Tell me, now having pitched, how do you feel all the knowledge has worked in your favor? How do you feel that's worked? And just take one at a time as you go.
First I want to say I was kind of like in the background, but just the information provided like through email and the videos, it was so helpful. Like I got really far just by like rewatching the transcripts and everything. But I actually kind of exercised my little fledgling entrepreneurial muscles at the expo a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking to people and they were like, oh yeah, like I have all these cards. Like I am ready. So I have all these people who are just like, I was glad I was able to walk in, and with a little bit of knowledge that I had, I was able to speak their lingo, and they were just like, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? So I'm very grateful. And now that it's over, I feel like I can relax. I can relax. So thank you so much.
Oh, awesome. Anyone else?
Yeah, I have to second that. I think one of the hardest things that I had is, you fall in love with the tech, right? But when you're talking to investors and you're talking, it's not about the tech. It comes down to simple, how does it make money, right? Mm-hmm. So, and coming from government, you just like, yeah, whatever, $1 billion, so. So, going through these cohorts has really helped me shape and really refine the process. And I am so appreciative of that. So appreciative.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I completely echo that sentiment. This was my first actual pitch competition in that sense. I've definitely pitched my idea to plenty of people before and have had success. And although it didn't go the way I expected at all, definitely a complete bomb, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I've learned so much from this experience. It's helped me to get my business to a point where I need to, where when I have future competitions, I'll be able to, take everything I learned from here and make sure that I'm prepared. A lot of tough lessons, but, I learned a lot. It was great seeing everyone else's pitches as well. And ultimately, if I'm being honest, the best part for me, especially being in this industry, it's very rare when I see other, Black people pushing and achieving and striving for this level of greatness. So just to be in a room where there are so many of us trying to get out there and trying to build our brands. That was empowering for me, and just that reminder of the community aspect of it. It just only made me want to strive for more. So for that, I'm just grateful for the experience. It can only go up from here, and I'm glad to get the bomb out the way, so I could just keep going from there. But yeah, no, it was this cohort it definitely meant a lot to me.
You got one more 90 day.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Any other experiences anyone else wants to share? Thank you so much for that, Jonathan.
Yeah, I'll share. So I'm actually new to Pensacola. I moved here this summer, and my good friend recommended Mr. Lloyd to me, and it was just like the push I needed, because I've always just been like trying, and I'm like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. Before I even learned about the program, on my Canva account, I had a pitch draft, but like it wasn't at all ready or completed. And just meeting him and learning about the program, it just pushed me to like actually finish my pitch. There have been countless networking opportunities. I've run into Don in Walmart a few times. So I just like the build for community. Being that I'm like new here, it just definitely made me feel like a little more, help me acclimate to here a little smoother. So I definitely appreciate that.
Welcome to Pensacola.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No, and I love that you all speak about community, because this is one of the big things that we want to promote at Cocoa Institute and Startups on the Blocks is the diversity of our community and the Black community, and the skills. I was just so blown away this particular demo day with everyone's backgrounds and skills and how diverse they were. And I was like, girl, I need to get my eyes done. Chelsea, help me. I was like, we have there's so many things that you all came back with, like having a lawyer on. Like, I just thought that was just the coolest thing. I think you were one of our first lawyers to ever pitch. And so it was just so cool to see that. And so I just want you all to just see this wonderful excellence that's on the screen, and those that also were with you in the cohort who are not pitching. This is such a part of the community, and so we just thank you all again for participating. What were a couple of things that you felt like you ironed out? Anything that you all felt like over the cohort, it became clear to you going through the lean stack method, or working with Lloyd Senior or some of our other coaches and mentors? Anything clarified in your mind or in your work ethic with your startup?
I would say for me, it was the 3-minute speech or pitch there. That kind of, like, I have a lot that I want to share about the idea, the concept, right? But then being limited to, you only have 3 minutes of this person's time to share, very concisely what it is that you want them to know about. I was a little over time today, but I mean, I had gotten that down quite significantly. So I was very happy with that.
That's awesome. Stephanie, it looked like you wanted to share as well.
Yes, I did, and I apologize, but I'm in the middle of football practice, so we're headed home now from it. So I've been doing that while I'm here at practice. But I just wanted to also say that I appreciate that I was able to be reminded of my why too, and tying into the story in the beginning to then why am I doing this, and what the mission is, of course, to be reminded, because I've been in business for like 2 years now. And the first year was just kind of setting everything up. The second year was like building those relationships and securing those partnerships. And now it's like I'm actively, doing things in the community and hosting the workshops, and I'm moving around quite a lot. And it just reminded me again on like the why and connecting that story to like, dang, you know what? Like, all right. Like it just kind of just confirmed that I'm kind of where I needed to be. So I appreciate that reconnection.
No, awesome. Yes, and be safe there with all those kids in the back.
I'll make it happen, man. They're coming too.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna run for it. But listen, I gotta do it. My goal in mind, hold on, sweetie, was to just kind of have them, the generational barriers broken. So it's got to start with me and then them. So, but they there, they live, 2 boys.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. Absolutely, absolutely. This brings up another point that very often my father and I see when we are working with founders throughout these cohorts, that life things get in the way. How have you all been able to manage personal life, other financial streams while working through this program? Anybody have any stories they would
I
like
got
to
one.
share regarding
I got one. I got one.
Yes.
So I'm in, even with all my experience, I'm in second tier leadership at a corporate job. I have a second job, and I was trying to do this, and I'm trying to get my certified speakership as well. So I am juggling a lot of hats, and I will call Lloyd Senior the Forge because let me tell you, he will take an idea and he will refine it. Okay, I liked the feedback that I got. Maybe I didn't like at the moment, but when I sat back and thought about it, I was like, he's making sense. And I think my biggest growth was when I actually got to the traction roadmap and I was able to hop on that evening and I was like, why does it look so low? Like I should be jumping off in the third year, but it was just like a slow crawl. And he was like, well, you can make more money than that. And I was like, I can make more money than that. Like, what? And then I was just like, okay, okay. But for me, that was really like when it clicked and I had to follow through like towards the end. And I life has definitely been life but today I was just like, I gotta show up for myself tonight. And I'm really glad I did. I'm really glad I did.
Quotable moment. Show up for yourself. That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Anyone else had a story that they want to share? I heard another person.
Well, I can share. So I actually, since I moved here, I've been getting like a lot of jobs locally. Like I work at UWF. I also work at PSC. I also work at a Pilates studio. I also work at the Navy Federal Credit Union, but all teaching Pilates. So it's literally I've been networking, just trying to make my introduction at UWF. It's really great. Like that, my class out of all of the fitness classes is the only one that's always like overbooked. Like people are on the wait list. So I really love that because it just reassures me that there's like potential and growth in like what I'm trying to do. I also work at an apartment complex where I teach a HIIT class every Thursday at 6 p.m. So I actually taught a class while doing this as well. So, it's just like I'm getting to it. I have my mind on the prize and I'm just grateful for the opportunity because I also have two daughters and I just love for them to be able to see me like making something out of literally nothing. Like we moved here and I've just been on the ground running. So I'm just appreciative and proud of myself for just showing up for myself and doing what I have to do.
Absolutely. I feel like I need a slow clap after all of that. I feel like I got to work out, listen to all the stuff he was doing. No, I love it. Wonderful. So, Alex, you've been a little quiet here. Tell us about your experience. I loved your slide deck. It was just so on point. Tell us a little bit about your experience through Cohort 6.
Sure, I enjoyed my experience overall. I think like the platform that we used provided some very unique tools that I'd never seen before. That kind of put modeling like your revenue streams and like planning out how many people you have to target and things like that. It framed it in a way that I hadn't seen before. So Lloyd was also pretty helpful and also very patient in kind of making sure that you followed through with everything. So I think it helped to kind of take a bunch of ideas I had juggling around for a bit and put them into a tangible format. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah. No, awesome, awesome. Now, there's a couple of things that happened. So many people were finishing ahead of time. I was like, am I in like a time warp or something? What is going on? Everyone's so on top of their pitch. But, it takes a skill to be able to explain what you do clearly and explain your ask and make sure that everybody understood and have you pulled on their heartstrings a little bit of that. So anyone want to talk about the difficulty of that or navigating that in this pitch competition or maybe in other ones that you've participated in?
I had a timer.
Oh, good. Yeah, you just have to, right?
I I had a timer last time and it failed me. That's why I didn't use it this time, right? Remember?
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, the hardest thing for me was the acronyms, right? So, like, when I first did it, it's acronym. I'm like, oh man, and then when you try to spell them out, I'm like, oh man, what do I do? So, I mean, it really helps you get succinct. Because if you got to do an elevator pitch or you got to talk to somebody, I mean, I went to a conference and CEOs all over the place, and the first question, oh, so what do you do? Well, what is that? And bang, bang, bang. I had I was driving Uber, and I had she worked for a VC, and this was quite a while ago, and she, bang, okay, so what's your CAC? Oh yeah, okay, what's that? Okay, so whatever. How so yes, Lloyd definitely puts you through the forge so you can sync up and then get your point out. So, which I have a hard.
No, totally. And I noticed that sometimes it does take a little bit of effort to explain it when you're doing something no one else has done before. So those are particularly some unique challenges to help people see those differences. Does anyone have any kind of particular technique that they feel like they do that helps them to get right to the heart of their product or the heart of their startup? Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we're still learning that, and I'll even kind of, speak to my experience because it's, I think the biggest takeaway I took is you got to be prepared for anything that could go wrong. That, caught me off guard. My computer started lagging. I couldn't see my slides. And it's just being in real time, recognizing the opportunity and doing what you can with what you have. I'll take that from this experience as far as you always just have to be prepared for the things that you can't prepare for. And then speak genuinely, be clear, concise. Lloyd Senior was very adamant about that during all of our training, all the prep was be clear and concise. The simpler you can make your idea, even in a scenario where everything kind of falls apart, you can still get through it. And I'm taking that lesson from this experience for future pitches because I know this won't be the last time. If anything, it's reinvigorated my desire and passion for what I'm doing, because I feel like I didn't do it the justice that it deserves. So taking that lesson moving forward of always being prepared, anything could go wrong, but staying calm, and even afterwards, the judges still try to throw me a bone and say, okay, tell me your business model. And I realized later, like, I could have used that time to finish up my presentation and go through the rest of my slides. But, in the moment I had panicked. But again, I'd much rather have had that experience here with this community, with people who I know. They're not going to judge, they understand these things happen. But to take those lessons with me moving forward so that I can kind of continue on with my passion, never losing sight of the dream. And, I still feel very strongly about what I'm trying to accomplish here. But yeah, it was definitely a welcome to this level of the business world moment. That I'm grateful to get it out the way now. But yeah, things are going to happen that are outside your control sometimes. The best thing you can do is be in the moment, stay calm, trust yourself, and just keep going.
Yeah, great advice. Absolutely great.
One thing I'd also add too is like when you go through, I guess, the process of like starting a business and you're in different programs and such, you'll get a lot of different feedback, and sometimes it may contradict, sometimes it may not. But like, I guess it helps to like be open-minded and like take bits and pieces from everyone that makes sense to you. But at the end of the day, make sure, I guess, it makes sense to you so that you can speak to it more genuinely. And then also, you may find that like you and another person may be saying the same thing in very different ways, so that when you follow what you thought made sense anyway, you actually end up doing what they were suggesting. So I would also add that.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I think this experience for me is just being flexible. I had a lot of personal things going on, holiday and then time with my family away and working on other programs. So it's just the flexibility of meeting once a week, but then also having the Saturday meetings. And then like whenever you had available time, you could schedule with a coach. That was really nice. Definitely you get through the program.
Awesome. Yeah, no, absolutely. And one of the things I would say with the cohorts, these 30-day cohorts that we're doing that you all just participated in, the goal is to be able to tell us how your business makes money. How is it going to generate income? And so getting those numbers right using the traction roadmap and stuff like that. Anyone have some unique stories on how they realized that? I think, was it I can't remember if it was Chelsea or someone else was like, oh, I can make more money. Like I need to actually make more money. Like have you working through that traction roadmap and finding out what your revenue model is going to look like? How many times did you have to redo that? Did anyone have some interesting stories to share about that?
Yeah, a lot. So, and as you know, in IT, you price per the seat, right? So, it's kind of, sometimes it can be a race to the bottom. Well, what I found is that if you try to race to the bottom, you're not going to make any money. So, I mean, trying to kind of fit that in there was extremely difficult for me. Um, just speaking from last year, being able to run through the track, understanding the numbers, that is key to every single pitch competition that are those numbers, and that's what they told us last time. So, yeah.
I think that it was a matter of going through all your variants and then narrowing down your variant, because initially I was just like, what do you mean there's just one plan? And then like when you go through it and you break it apart to all the different segments, you're like, oh, I got to figure out which model would work best for me. And then going through the feasibility of it all and finding out of the 8 that you did, only like 2 are going to actually work. That's kind of crushing too, because just in the optical industry, I know so much about it. I could do anything in an eyeglass shop. I could do the admin, I can cut glasses, I can troubleshoot glasses, I could do all of that. So I never think about the overhead. And when I got to the feasibility of my model and then coming to the ask, once again, I was lowballing myself, literally like to the hour. I was like, Lloyd, I think this is enough. And he was like, no, think about all of it. Like they're not asking you, they're not going to ask you, they're not asking to start up your business. They're asking to see if you know what it will take to get your business, into fruition. And I was calling like some of my experts, my friends who already own businesses in optical, and I was just like, how much do you think this is a good number? Because ChatGPT is telling me about like five and a half, or it's like $500,000, and I'm trying to make $1 million business. And I was just like, this doesn't make sense. But in the end, it does. Like I can talk to you about those numbers, and that it was so funny. The judge was like, you're saying Medicaid, but you're saying $1 million. I'm like, well, actually, I literally had done the unit cost right before my presentation. So it was just like, thank God I did. I was just like, I know this is going to be $25 a pair. I know people are going to be like, well, that's like, how are you going to make 20? That's nothing. It was like, but it's the cost of entry. Like, we know we're going to make profit on our premium sales and our premium services. So I'm glad I did that, because when she asked me that question, I was like, yes. I could do that.
But it's not a matter of like when you do it per se, but the fact that you went and did that research, that market research to make sure you understood, is one of the bigger things. That you went and took that extra step is so important, because you're pushing your startup forward. And so, no, I really commend you on that. Sometimes the background doesn't look as pretty as the foreground. We just hear the pitch and we're like, oh yeah, it's great, it's great, it's great. And I've been like, give me these numbers right now. I need these numbers. Like ChatGPT, get on it. Right. So no, I love that. And that's just the nature of that. And the other thing I want to kind of highlight that you said too, Chelsea, is that there is an emotional toll that it takes when you see that the way you thought the business should run is not going to make money. There's an emotional toll to that. So, I really feel for you all going through that. It looks like our judges are back. So I'm going to ask a few of you who have already pitched before and whatnot to step from backstage. Make sure everybody can get back on accordingly. Thank you, Cohort 6, for jumping in and speaking with us. And best of luck to you all. I can't wait to hear what they have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you. you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All righty, Lloyd Sr., how has it been?
Great, great, great. We had some fun back there deliberating, at least the judges did. And so we want to get all the judges up here, and we're going to get the top 5 people up here, and we want to just go ahead and bring. First of all, I'll let the judges give some comments, and then we'll bring the top 5 up.
All righty. We're waiting for Coach Lucy, but I'm sure she'll be back here momentarily.
First off, it is not easy being able to share your baby and, hear feedback on your baby. And I just want everybody to know that we think your baby is beautiful. We don't think you have an ugly baby. You have so much potential with your baby. So we do hope that you can take some of the comments that we provided for you guys back, after this is over with, and continue to improve. But the opportunities that you guys are tackling is awesome, and I'm glad to see it. So that's my comment.
Lucy, Asafo, you have any additional comments?
I'll just add, second what Ebony had to say. It's 3 minutes is not a lot of time. I felt that all of you in certain pockets presented your baby pretty well, and there were obviously just some that really stood out, that we resonated with, and understood the pitch and the journey better. But I think there's a lot of positives that everyone can take away from this pitch today. And yeah, so we definitely enjoyed it.
And I guess I'll just add, one of the reasons why I will always accept Lloyd's invitation to participate is because being on the judge's side is just a beautiful reminder of what does come across. We're all in business. I'm still an entrepreneur trying to raise funds and get customers. And so, the authenticity of what it is that you're trying to do, trumps, maybe I shouldn't use that word, overrides the just getting through, right? And so take a breath and just, emphasize the why. And I think, generally speaking, a little bit more emphasis on unfair advantage, and being able to state some of the competitors out there and why they would go with you versus them. Because there wasn't one thing here that doesn't have competition here. Hate to break it to you, okay? But I think that those are my 2 things. It's just really, take a breath and be more authentic, and then really emphasize why you and why now. That's my feedback.
Fantastic. So founders, we really appreciate all the hard work you all put in, and you all did a great job. And I guess there was a comment which we didn't make, was like, I think it was Jonathan. He took a while answering the question, so it didn't give the other judges a chance to give feedback. And he was right when he said that. So I told everybody to upload their slides as a backup to save, bandwidth, so you wouldn't have problems with that. So everything we tell you for a reason, and to help you kind of move on. And specifically the course, it actually everything builds upon the last thing you did. But if you do all the work, assembling the pitch deck is really easy. And so that's what I just want to make sure everybody understand, that's the case. And so the idea now is, once you get through the 30-day, is that you would go to the 90-day program and validate the demand for your product or service, and so the platform has a unique way of doing that as well. Lucy, I know you're interested in that, but it's pretty neat. And so
The point I was trying to make with why I like to get your invitations to judge is it really does emphasize that you have to assume that who you're pitching to does not know anything about your space.
Right.
And so those first 30 seconds out are super, super important. So don't devalue or de-emphasize that just because you're trying to get through to slide 5. That is really the hook. And that is really the why. So anyways,
okay.
I'm guilty of all of that stuff. So please take this in the spirit of which I'm trying to, learn from our mistakes here.
Yeah, we all been there and done that.
Exactly.
So what we're going to do is we are going to bring 5 other finalists up, and so you know which place you came in. And 2 of our founders have won in the past, so we're going to let the people who haven't won in the past to get some funding. It's kind of what we're doing here. So first of all, we want to bring up Stephanie with the Early Rise Foundation in the 5th place. And then we want to bring up Carlos Cows and Bully Recovery. And then that was actually, 4th place. And then 3rd place was Chelsea with ICEA. And 2nd place was Don Brightful with Nexus Dragon. He placed first the last time he was here, so he got dethroned by Alex. Yeah, Alex got first place. Where's Alex? Alex here.
Well, congratulations, everyone. But hopefully Carlos, Alex can get backstage, and there they are.
Okay. Yes. And so, so we definitely, y'all did a great job. And so Carlos and Don did a great job placing 2nd and 4th. So we definitely want to recognize them and that. And so we want them to continue to make progress and move forward. There's Carlos. So congratulations, you all. Did any of y'all have anything you want to say real quick?
No, I have to say this is totally awesome. Before I met Lloyd, I didn't know what the Nexus Dragon was. MSP, MSSP, I don't know, but he helped me really kind of forge and whittle it down. Sometimes me and him butt heads, but it's always a good thing. It's really good. So good. Good. This is a great thing. I wish more folks would participate.
I just want to thank, of course, Lloyd Sr. For kind of mentoring us throughout this. I want to thank, of course, Lloyd Jr. for hosting, all the judges, Lucy and Ebony for asking your questions, and also Asafa. I don't know if I heard from you, but I want to thank you anyway for, monitoring. It was a great experience, and I'm glad to have participated. In a sense, I also have to thank, I don't know, there's another student in the court, I think it was Jonathan, who actually recommended it to us through another Black Ambition program. And if it wasn't for seeing his recommendation, then I probably wouldn't have been in the program. So thank you all.
Yeah, and that was Tony, who I think was also got Jonathan in as well.
Yep. All right. Well, then thank you to Tony as well.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Carlos.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I was just going to say, though, I think I'd say first giving honor to God, who's ahead of my life. And I just want to thank y'all for the opportunity. And I'm just grateful, though, for this win or what's not. You got to be grateful and thank God for every, win or what's not. And to me, that gave me confirmation, though, that with this win, I got to, level up, though. And I thank God, though, that my paths crossed with Brother Lloyd, though. I wasn't even looking for him, though. But it's no coincidence, though, that our paths, cross or what's not. Because the Lord wanted me, to level up, though, and to encourage people who are, struggling, especially with bullying, though, to turn your pain into purpose. That's why Bullying Recovery, though, was made. And I'm glad, though. And, of course, congrats to all the other contestants, though, because, y'all get to tell y'all story. And we thank God for a man like Lloyd, though, who's getting us all over, though, as founders. So it's really awesome. And I want to be like like Lloyd, though, I want to set it up to where I get other people, over in that department as well.
Go ahead, Chelsea. Chelsea.
Thank you. I'm flabbergasted. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to say, first of all, Carlos, I love the name Bully Recovery. I mean, holy cow! My creative brain's just going crazy with it. I put my LinkedIn link. I'm not going to go hunt you guys down, okay? But if anybody wants to connect with us, my partner is a Mayo-trained retired pulmonologist, 5-time, 6-time exited entrepreneur in kind of the healthcare space, right? That doesn't mean that we don't have our challenges. And I'm not saying that we know everything at all. I'm still with you guys trying to make it. But there are some accelerant factors at play here for perhaps Carlos, you, and maybe Alex, and then possibly even Stephanie. If you guys wanted to link up and then track me down and see if we can get 1530 to see if there's anything to help you guys out with. Okay. No, not saying that there's nothing else for other guys. Dawn, my big point, and I shared it with the group, that I loved that you said, when you say $2,500 a month, that sounds so expensive. How are you going to go do that? But the fact is, it is a quarter of, or to a third, the cost of an FTE, right? And so when you are looking at those rural clinics that are so at risk, I'm right now in the rural county healthcare space, right? And it's crazy what is at risk there. So I'm just kind of sharing and going around. Chelsea, I freaking love your name. And then, yeah. So there's my LinkedIn. And if anybody wants to reach out, knock yourself out.
And I'll say, Ebony, if you want to leave your LinkedIn too in there, because I think Tony was asking for it to link up with you later on too. Gotta keep these network connections.
Yes. So I'll tell everybody. You can find me Ebony Vaz on LinkedIn, and I'm typically really good about it. But I am telling people I am on a little bit of a social media hiatus for the next week and a half. The stuff that's coming out is got to be overwhelming and distracting. So I had to focus back on the business and everything. So if you connect with me, I promise you, when I do hop back on in a week and a half, I will accept and we will connect. And any connections that I have that are genuine connections, I'm happy to make them for you. I will say that there is a method to the madness. And when you do programs like this, you'll go on to do another program like this. And it's all of this is building you on to something. So when the program tells you you need to do XYZ, and this is how you should present to the judges, that is important. That is extremely important. And I tell you, as you get busier and busier in your business, you're going to see that you two have the attention span of a goldfish. And if you don't give me the information how I'm told I'm going to be given the information, it's going to be hard for me to sit here and process and decide where you should fall. So I would just say that, as I know all of my investor friends, you need to make sure that if your program is telling you how to deliver that information, if the program is telling you, hey, this is how you need to show up to share the information, these are things that we have seen in the industry you might want to consider. We want you to not bump your head like we have. We want you to not bump your head like we've seen other startups do. Our goal in judging is to help you be able to move farther than others who aren't going through what you're going through. So, take the information that you've gotten from this program, even if you didn't participate fully, that information is so valid. It is not invalid. If you didn't show up 100%, it doesn't mean that information is not valid. So I would really encourage you just to go back and review the information again and continue to improve and iterate. But truly, I love that you guys are addressing every single aspect that you're addressing. I see the need, and I just want to see you succeed. So please continue to keep going and implement and put action to the feedback that we've given you and run. And that's my end of my comments.
Stephanie, did you want to say anything? But you're muted right now.
I did. I apologize. I am now waiting for my niece because I'm on aunt duty. But my audio had kicked out for about 10 minutes. I was trying so desperately to hear it from the phone. But I did take a lot of the feedback and applying it to the 90-day program. So I will definitely take that feedback that I received. Thank you.
Yes. So so Stephanie with the Early Rise Foundation, Chelsea with ICEA, and who else here? And Alex, you get your W-9s in, and we'll get you a check for $1,000. Congratulations!
Oh, we won! Thank you. I'm so sorry. That's what cut out. Okay.
Something told me I did not catch that.
I did not catch that. I did not catch that at all. Please give me a second. I did not catch. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't hear any of that. No, all of that was gone. And all
I
my
clicked over the backstage and I was like,
it was. Hopefully, I go back and play that back if I can. If this is recorded, so
Hey, Lloyd.
thank you.
Hey, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Can I say
Yes.
one more thing? I got so excited talking and getting through stuff. I forgot to thank the judges. Thank you so much for your feedback, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. That's how I work. I work with feedback. Tell me if it's crap, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me go back and do it. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy times to give us all the feedback. Thank you.
Awesome.
All righty. Yeah, that's basically all I have. Is there anything else, Lloyd Jr.?
I just want to say congratulations. I love seeing all this Black excellence here. Thank you, judges, for all that you all offer our founders and coming in time and time again. Ebony, welcome to the Startup on the Blocks and team and family. We appreciate your feedback so much. Asafu, Coach Lucy, thank you. And to all you Cohort 6 folks, Carlos, congratulations. I know this is the first time, so I'm super excited for you, my friend. And so I'm so excited for you all. And Stephanie, I'm so excited you got some audio to realize you don't want some money. So, thank you all again for participating. Join us every Thursday evening for Startup on the Blocks, where you can learn more about more things in the startup ecosystem. Stay connected, network. This is just the beginning. There's so many other things to apply for and to reach out to. So don't let this be the stop. Let this be the catapult.
Yeah, thank everybody as well. I really appreciate you all. And one thing I want to tell the founders is when I send you an email, it's really for you to go through. It's not just to be sending you an email, because we use so much AI with this thing to help you out with the feedback and everything. So at a minimum, just go back through those emails. And like Ebony said, go back to the platform, because all the tools are still there. Even if you didn't, weren't able to absorb all the stuff this time, I just can't emphasize enough, because it's going to make all the difference in the future. Love you all. Thanks a lot. We'll see you all later. Alrighty.
See you guys later. Bye.
Have a blessed night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Good night, everyone.
Yes.
For training.